Boozed and Confused is a comedy and weird topic podcast. Adult language may be used, probably by me. While our episode topics may be educational in nature, we are not responsible if your children start dropping the F-bomb to their kindergarten class. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
This is where you say, "Hi, Dr. Nick."
Hey, who's Dr. Nick?
Like Simpsons. "Hi, everybody." And then he
No,
butchers somebody.
Oh, there I go, not knowing my Simpsons stuff.
Like, wow, that's so embarrassing. Well, welcome back to another episode of Boozed and Confused. I'm Carol Ann.
I forgot the bottle opener.
You did forget the bottle opener. And we'll be back after a brief message from our sponsor today, Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Because it's not hot outside for the last 5 days, I was like, hey, Oktoberfest.
Yeah, I mean, September is right around the corner, which is the appropriate time for Oktoberfest. We're going to pretend like we didn't just have to take a pause for Matt to get up and go get a bottle opener because he very embarrassingly thought this Oktoberfest was a twist off, and it's not.
To be fair, it was twisting.
I don't know if we did intros already. I'm Carol Ann.
We
yeah,
did.
we did. Jesus, I'm losing my mind. It's fine. I'm Carol Ann for the 5th time, and it's a Carol Ann episode. It's the Carol Ann show.
This is my first Oktoberfest of the year.
What? Yeah, I guess it would be.
It's
Because not like you're really drinking Oktoberfest in like February. That'd be kind of gross.
No, because then it's too late.
Yeah, no. Well, how is that?
Oh, I haven't even sipped it yet. I just thought
Just
about
put it to your
sipping.
mouth and you pretend. Great.
Letting the excitement just build
Jesus
up.
Christ. All right. A few things before we get into today's episode. Just skip ahead like 45 seconds if you already know all this shit. We're on all your favorite social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We're not on Truth Social, but I heard it's a blast recently. And if social media is not really your thing, it's not really my thing either that much anymore. You can reach us at boozedandconfusedpodcast@gmail.com. And would always love to hear like your creepy stories or some hauntings or maybe a Mothman encounter that you had.
Mothman.
We were at C2E2 over the weekend, last weekend maybe, and we got a Mothman plushie, and she's pink and she's very cute, and she's going in the executive producer's room. I'm very happy with
Soon
it.
to be her third favorite stuffed animal.
Yeah.
And stuffed
cryptid.
cryptid.
The next one is if you like the pod and you want to support us, the best thing that you could do is subscribe and or follow and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. It's always super appreciated. It does make a difference, and we just like to read your messages sometimes.
Send me your spam.
Yeah, and you know, in exchange for that, if you feel so inclined, you could take a screenshot of the review and send it to us, and we will send you some Boozed and Confused stickers in the mail for free. And we won't do whatever we were talking about last week with the cat poop.
No, we won't.
No cat poop this week. And I think we already know what you're drinking.
Yeah, it's a Sam Adams Oktoberfest. They claim to be a craft brewer, and I don't know if they really feel like one, because they're just so humongous.
They are pretty big.
But no, this used to be my go-to Oktoberfest. I think this year I might branch out a little bit and kind of explore the options. I like the caramely notes of the Oktoberfest.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these are best enjoyed in large steins, which
yeah,
we
absolutely.
have.
We do have
Like 12.
I look at a boot and I get triggered, so
You beat that kid up in the maze.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that, but I did accidentally black out after having a lot of boots of beer.
Those boots are in the cold storage under the house where they will stay for all time.
It's a story for another day, but
When the producer is clearing the house out in like 55, 60 years, is like, oh, this is the boots we couldn't talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like accidentally getting blackout drunk with your family on a family trip at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Might have been earlier than that, honestly. It was pretty dangerous, but that's fine. Neither here nor there. Anything else before we dive into today's episode?
Nothing really. Just kind of looking at the basement, thinking it needs a good vacuuming.
Yeah,
And
that's
who has the time to vacuum these days? If only there was some like smart vacuum cleaner that could just do the
Wow.
job for me. That's the thing that's on like top of my
Oh.
head right now.
That was such a good lead-in, because I was like, Matt, you don't have to fucking tell people that our basement doesn't get as much love as the first floor. But I see what you're saying.
If only there was a way.
If you know me and you've listened to my shrilling voice more than 45 seconds of any of our pod episodes, you know I love a good conspiracy of the corporate variety. And my ears definitely perked up last week, or maybe it was like the first week of August, when it was widely announced that Amazon would be buying iRobot, the maker of Roomba. Your little vacuum friends.
That doesn't really vacuum anything up in the first place. It just scares your small animals and maybe your children.
Or maybe they become friends and they start an alliance. Who knows?
The producer actually has a lovely toy where it is a cat sitting on a
little
iRobot
It's a little
vacuum.
fake Roomba, yeah.
I think that was inspired by Parks and Recreation, DJ Roomba.
Yeah, it probably was.
Because everything that you play is like techno-y.
Oh, yeah, on the toy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a very interesting toy. I thought it was really dumb, but some of the songs kind of slap, so.
And I could actually see like Aziz Ansari lending his voice to this toy, saying like, yes, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so Amazon is going to be buying iRobot for $1.7 billion.
Oh, someone's going to be living on a beach before their house gets swept up by the ocean. But good news, they can buy another one a couple 100 yards back and do it again in 5 years.
Yeah, so that's a really high price tag for...
It's just a vacuum.
Yeah.
And vacuums kind of suck.
Oh, God, I'm not doing this today.
I'm just on the roll.
You're just really on a roll today.
Oh, boy.
So if you're into Amazon conspiracies and you haven't heard the last episode we did on Amazon stuff, it's called The Stuff Amazon Doesn't Want You to Know. Definitely give it a listen. It's episode like 30 something. It was one of the earlier ones that we did.
That was like the one where no one could go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you can't go to the bathroom, the union busting, which is still very relevant. There's like just a whole bunch of Amazon conspiracies in there. It's wild.
I just joined Twitter last week, but I've been at Amazon for 15 years, and I love all my ample bathroom breaks. In fact, I wonder what to do during all my bathroom breaks when I don't have to go to the bathroom.
The picture is like a stock photo. It's got like 16 pixels in it.
It's just
and
Tom
her name
from
is
MySpace.
her name is like Susie Carmichael. So 1.7 billion is definitely a shitload of money for an acquisition. That is a lot of money. It's definitely up there on the list of Amazon acquisitions, which while I was doing this research, there's been 113 acquisitions done by Amazon or its like subsidiaries since like the late 90s, which is wild.
We would call this a hostile takeover.
Did you know IMDb is owned by Amazon?
I go on IMDb quite often, actually.
I know you do. Because we'll watch movies and you're like, oh my God, this guy was in these 15 movies from the late 80s. And I'm like, how do you know this?
It's my quirk.
Yeah.
I'm quirky.
Yeah.
Yes, it would not surprise me that they have that now, because whenever I go on to it, I have to click through Amazon movie ads, like the Amazon originals.
Mm-hmm.
I have to skip through those.
That makes sense. Yeah, I'm never on IMDb, so I had no idea. And that one threw me for a whirl.
I'm always on IMDb.
Well, all your other favorites are on there. Obviously, Audible is owned by Amazon. Zappos is owned by Amazon.
Is that the
That's
cigarette
the shoes?
lighter?
Shoes.
What's the lighter brand? Maybe it's the same.
Zippo.
Zippo. Oh,
Yeah, very
Zappos?
close.
Zappos is shoes.
I think Zappos is shoes.
It's like skateboard shoes.
No, Zappos is like. Hold on, I'm gonna take a brief pause. Okay, not just skateboard shoes. This is like a bunch of.
It's lifestyle.
Yeah, there you go.
What's the lifestyle vibe?
Oh wait, Zappos is more than that. Actually, I see like lifestyle sneakers,
There we are.
dresses, backpacks for school, athleisure. That's where I live. That's my comfort zone. Yeah, that's interesting. I think Zappos maybe is the company that was really well known for its return policy and customer service.
Wear our shoes for 5 years, get a hole in the sole, and return them for free.
No, that's Costco. Anyways, Amazon's priciest acquisition was Whole Foods recently at just under $14 billion.
You mean like bougie, like Whole Foods? Like
Yes, Whole Foods.
the
grocery
grocery
store.
chain.
Yes. Yes.
I bought ham from there once.
Thank you for that contribution.
It lived in the freezer for about 3 years.
They also just recently purchased film studio MGM last year at $8.4 billion.
Wow.
And they just purchased primary care provider One Medical for $3.9 billion.
Wow. A medical?
Yeah. Within the last, 2 months or so. So it might seem like this iRobot acquisition came out of nowhere, but Amazon has been digging into the robotics market, if we want to call it that, more after their Kiva Systems acquisition, which they used to create Amazon Robotics back in 2012. And I think that's the kind of tech that they use within warehouses.
Okay.
The robots are coming to take our jobs.
I would trust a Roomba over a self-driving car at this moment in time.
That video of the Tesla doing a doing a test of against SUVs of trying to not hit the child that runs in front of the car, and the other SUVs just stop and the Tesla just fucking nails this kid.
It wasn't.
It's a fake kid. It's a
fake
dummy.
kid.
It's a dummy. Jesus.
The kid
a
was pretty
test.
dumb for being in the street in the first place. No, I saw a video of a Tesla. It was a fellow in a Tesla watching the screen, and the Tesla kept braking because it thought that the full moon was a yellow light.
Well, yeah. That's they're gonna have to figure that out.
I've never seen the Roomba stop for a full moon.
Well, anyways, Roombas have been enabled with Alexa commands since at least 2017-ish, maybe earlier. But they definitely deepened their partnership in late 2021, which I'm assuming is probably leading up to this acquisition. Acquisitions in the corporate world take a very long time to go through, so I would not be shocked if that was kind of like a precursor to this. You're probably thinking, why does this matter? It is just a vacuum. Could this really be on the same level of privacy invasion like Alexa? And the answer is yes. A big fat yes. We have a Roomba. It's a dumb Roomba. It is a Roomba, though. It's not like an off-brand one. Her name is Six, for anyone who is a Battlestar Galactica fan, which is funny because I feel like we're getting closer to a Cylon takeover by the day. And we talk about this pretty often of respect your technology and respect your AI, because one day they're going to be our overlords.
And they'll remember how you treated it.
Yeah.
Smarter Child, that little AIM chatbot.
Yeah.
She'll come back. And
yeah, she's
got
her list.
Get in the jar.
But our Roomba is super basic. It connects to the Wi-Fi if we want it to, which would allow us to use the app or create a schedule. But it does not know the layout of our house to give us a smart clean. It just kind of fumbles around the living room and it runs into the same chair leg about 15 times and then it turns around.
Yeah.
And it's I'm done here.
if that, usually it turns on and in about 8 minutes it goes doo-doo Error. I'm stuck.
Error, Roomba stuck. And then it's like lodged underneath the living room coffee table.
Send help.
But yeah, so our model is super old. It was like a Black Friday deal years and years ago. But there are Roombas that map the entire layout of your house, which comes with benefits like actually getting a good clean in the house. I will say our Roomba does the job of picking up like cat hair here and there.
Feathers.
Yeah.
We don't have a bird. We just have feathers.
Yeah. Feather pillows. But it's by no means a replacement for actual cleaning. The people who buy these like higher end Roombas do it for like actual cleaning. Ours is more like supplemental, I would say. But the devices can also adapt to and remember, loose quotes there, up to 10 floor plans. So you could pretty much bring your Roomba to another part of the house or another room or something, and the robot will just recognize where it's at and just clean as instructed.
See, I would move the furniture around every time.
Idiot.
Stupid robot. I'm still smarter than you.
Some models also have low resolution cameras to avoid obstacles and aid in its mapping. Ours just like gets a little bit too close to the stairs and it's like, whoa. Okay.
When did those get there?
And it's like shocked by the stairs every time.
I've been used at least 15 times and I don't remember these stairs once.
So this sort of like mapping is kind of where we start to get into our problems. So as of 2020, Roomba had just under 50% of the market share for robotic vacuum cleaners. I actually read a report that prior to 2020, like maybe between 2015 and then, its market share at one point was almost as high as like 70%, which I totally believe because they have a good price point. They have products for all, price points. And they were, I think, one of the first ones to really commercialize this in a way that was accessible to people financially, just for shits and giggles to buy a robot vacuum. Now there's a ton of off brands that kind of pop up here and there. Not super shocked, but so Amazon is now taking over a company that's already dominating the field. So it's just getting ready to kill the competition. And Amazon itself has a 56% market share of the e-com space as of 2021, which is disturbing.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. So on top of that, of like they're just kind of like big tech is just making another acquisition to expand its reach. There's huge privacy concerns.
Yeah, when you first mentioned this about the Roomba being bought by Amazon and the room tracking ability, I just instantly just perked up my head. It's like, oh, Amazon wants to know like what your house looks like.
Yeah,
wants to know the insides and out of your house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like Matt was saying, like, I don't know, maybe it's just a robot vacuum. What can it really say about me? How much data can it really collect? It can know a fucking lot. You ever walk into somebody's house for the first time and you're like, oh, this definitely matches your personality, or like,
this is how you live?
Like, you can tell a lot about a person by spending 10 minutes in their house, whether that's like their entertaining space or their kitchen or their bedroom. You can tell a lot about a person and how they live. Yeah. So some of the things that you could find out that this Roomba could be collecting or is already collecting are things like the size of a house, the amount of furniture. Those kinds of things might be able to tell advertisers what the owner's income level might be. So obviously, if you have a much larger house, a bigger floor plan, you probably have a higher household income. Maybe it could tell the kind of brands that you use within your house. Maybe it could even identify things like pet hair or pet items. Or maybe it could be like, vroom, vroom. Oh, I'm just vacuuming right here. Oh,
Don't mind me.
Is that a crib? Or it can identify like baby toys all over the floor like we have. Maybe it can tell that you have like a really nice lounge chair that's missing an ottoman, or maybe you're missing a welcome mat at your entryway. You kind of see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, maybe you're into waifu anime pillows.
How did I know that that's where you were going to go with this? I started laughing before you even finished. Oh my God. Yeah. Maybe at that point it just self-destructs. It's like, nah, man, clean your own shit.
We're done here. It's just Jeff Bezos popping in. Mission failed. We're done.
So maybe that means that they can personalize recommendations to you, like items or promos. And if it identifies maybe that you're a higher household income, it could give you more luxurious brands as recommendations, where if you have like a lower household income, maybe it's like, here's Amazon Basics, where it's like a really nice entry point for this stuff. It's like literally the basics of what you would need. If it can tell you have pets, maybe you start getting recommendations for like pet beds or toys, or maybe different kinds of litter. If it can tell that you have a cat, if it can tell that you have a baby, maybe you get recommendations for things like diapers or toys or clothes. Maybe you find that useful and you're like, wow, that doesn't sound so bad. I've always wanted an invasive tech oligarchy to provide hyper-relevant product recommendations to sell me shit that I probably don't need. Congratulations.
Now I know where to spend my money. Thanks, Jeff.
And that's fine. You do you. Consent to your data being handed over and used for this stuff if that's what you're into. I understand, like, our home, there are certain tech items we have in our home that I'm like, this is definitely more of a want than a need. And I understand there are certain pieces of privacy and data that we're handing over in exchange for the convenience of these tech items, like the Alexa that's in our bathroom that will randomly go off as I'm sitting in the office.
I was just going to ask, what song was it playing? Oh, it was like Savage Garden. Savage Garden.
No. Is that I'll Be Your Crying Shoulder?
You love suicide.
Yeah. That's not Savage Garden, is that?
Is that
no,
not
it's like
Savage Garden?
No, I don't know who that is.
To be the greatest fan of your life.
God, I was sitting in a work call giving a 1 hour like presentation, and out of fucking nowhere the Alexa in the bathroom starts playing music, and it's like the very slow, like, I'll be your crying, I don't know.
Edwin McCain.
Yeah, there you go. So part of me was like, maybe somebody connected to the Alexa and started playing the music on accident, or maybe I said something that triggered it to start playing, but I had to very awkwardly tell the like 50 people I was presenting to, like, hi, please excuse me for one moment so I can turn off the Alexa in my bathroom behind me. Very uncomfortable. There were some laughs out of it, but
this is a 1997 smash hit. This was like an anthem for my grade school dances.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I just use the Alexa for like fart noises.
Yeah, the executive producer finds them very funny, and so does Matt. I use it for like listening to the news in the morning and getting weather updates.
Who wants news?
And stuff like that. And then obviously we have our Google, what is it, like a Google Home?
Yeah,
in the
it's
kitchen.
got a little screen. I usually will stream, or like I'll like cast a YouTube video of like soccer stuff.
I just like it to show me pictures of our past vacations, so I can be really sad. Yeah, I don't know. We have a bunch of other random shit. Like we have Nest cameras and stuff like that. Obviously, there's data concerns and privacy concerns that come with that sort of stuff as well.
But we once saw a meteor flying through the sky via our Nest Cam.
Yeah, we did. That was pretty neat.
That was pretty cool.
That was meteor.
We saw a hit and run in front of our house.
Oh God, yeah, we did. We've seen a lot of crazy shit actually that we would have had no idea about had it not been for the cameras. That alone has paid for them.
We saw some sketchy guy walking by our house who then noticed our camera, and then he got even sketchier.
And tried to pretend like he totally was not just in people's backyards.
But I will say that you can whisper to your Alexa and it'll whisper back. So if you whisper, Alexa fart, it'll
go.
It'll whisper like, oh, there was a wet one.
Yeah.
It's like it's really upsetting. It's really kind of
It is disturbing.
It's a little disturbing.
It's disturbing. Yeah.
Google doesn't whisper to me.
No, Google does not whisper sweet nothings and fart noises to our ears, which is totally fine.
Which is why
Totally fine. That's
Yeah.
I have a lot more respect for Google for that. Anyway, so maybe you're like, yeah, I do want to hand my shit over and get these product recommendations and these promos. I don't care. Good for you. Congratulations. But what if a Roomba user consents to their data being collected, and then later on they sell their home, completely furnished, maybe even, and now the buyers of the data have a map of a home that belongs to somebody who did not consent.
Yeah, it carries over. You
Yeah.
can't change a home layout. I mean, you can change furniture, but you can't change the shape of your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you spend
more money.
money.
In which case, the Roomba would know. It would know, and it would be like, ooh, you putting an addition on, Steve?
Oh, I've cleaned the 3rd floor for the first time.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of questions that come with this, like how long is this data kept? If the house burns down, can the insurance company obtain the data and use it to identify possible causes? Can the police use it after a robbery? There's a lot of questions that come with this.
Ooh, yeah, the insurance is like, ooh, actually, we saw that there was this thing that wasn't, so like, we're not paying for your...
Oh, you had an electrical fire? Well, the Roomba showed us that you had 15 things plugged into one outlet, so good luck.
Because the insurers they're really out to help you.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned from having to use insurance.
I'd really like to help you, but I just can't. Sorry.
Yeah,
there's the
I'd
rules.
love to.
Oh,
Matt's
sorry.
rubbing his nipples.
We'd love to help.
Something I find really interesting is this quote by a person named Evan Greer, who's the director of the nonprofit digital rights organization Fight for the Future. Quote, people tend to think of Amazon as an online seller company, but really Amazon is a surveillance company. That is the core of its business model, and that's what drives its monopoly power and profit. Amazon wants to have its hands everywhere, and acquiring a company that's essentially built on mapping the inside of people's homes seems like a natural extension of the surveillance reach that Amazon already has.
It's the next step.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
where's
the next
lie?
Logical step.
Yeah, where's the lie in that? It's completely true. It's like how people say Amazon, or sorry, I apologize. McDonald's is not really a restaurant company or a food company. It's a real estate company, and it is. McDonald's, I think, has the most real estate.
Oh,
of, like,
that was
company.
in that movie.
Oh, that was in that movie. That was in the movie.
Yeah, it's got what's his name? He was in Birdman. He was
I don't
Batman.
know. Why don't you just look it up on
Keaton.
it up on fucking IMDb?
It was Michael Keaton. I don't need IMDb. It was Michael Keaton. Yeah, it's not a food industry. It's a real estate company.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about some of the other companies Amazon acquired that have products in a lot of households. Amazon acquired Ring in 2018. Ring started as video doorbells, but have since expanded to security cameras like inside and outside of your house, security systems, smart lighting, and they just recently had Ring for Pets. So you can look at your dog when you go back to work because your boss is like, you got to be in the office. It's for office culture.
You're killing the office culture.
I will never go back
I'm
to
gonna
an
mess
office.
you up if you don't come back. You're telling me I'm wrong.
Also, I don't have it in my notes, but Amazon acquired Twitch in 2014. Yes, and so...
Oh, yeah, they do have, like, Amazon Prime stuff.
Yeah.
Like, links up to it.
Yeah. So I don't know that I would necessarily say that that is, like, the beginning of this, but that is included in here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Their next acquisition right after Ring was a company called PillPack, an online pharmacy. It's now part of Amazon Pharmacy, which is a subsidiary of Amazon. Amazon acquired Eero shortly after in 2019, and Eero is a whole home mesh Wi-Fi router. I actually looked into buying it. It was way too expensive, so we got Google instead.
And the basement mesh
right now it's
thing.
blinking red.
It means it's not working.
Yeah, which is fine because there's way too much concrete in our house. But a fun fact about the Eero acquisition is that it actually completely screwed over investors and employees unless you're one of the execs that got like a fat payout. Everybody else, like, they had stock options that were pretty much worthless after the acquisition. So all of this is on top of their launch of Amazon Echo products, like we were just talking about, which based its Alexa on a Polish speech synthesizer named Ivana, bought by Amazon in 2013. I don't know if I knew that part, but that's kind of funny. And most recently, right before Roomba, not smart home tech based, but One Medical, the one that I talked about earlier in the episode. So One Medical is a membership-based primary care service with an in-person care and online resources. They have a mobile app. Amazon bought them for just under $4 billion. They are huge on virtual care and using tech to enable their healthcare. If you, I don't really know how widely spread it is, but if you work in corporate America, there's a very good chance your company has some sort of partnership with One Medical where it's like, we pay for One Medical benefits and this is free to you. And it's like virtual visits, talk to a provider, try to find X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, it's wild. If you try to buy it on your own, it's $199 for the entire year. So I don't know if it's meant to be a replacement for insurance or if it's, I don't fucking know, but I have not personally used it, even though it's been offered to me many times in the past.
Yeah, we didn't use that. I had a really nasty tonsil infection and I was dying. I lost like 10, 15 pounds over this time. I just couldn't eat food, but you figured out I could like call a doctor. And I think you took a picture of my tonsils.
Yes, I did. It was disgusting.
Then he called me and goes like, "Nice tonsils, bro."
No, he absolutely did not say that. Matt was like, I think I have tonsil stones. And I looked at his tonsils and I was like, my man, you have a gnarly tonsil infection.
My tonsils were huge, like
bad.
3 times
disgusting.
bigger than they normally are.
Disgusting. Anyways, the power of the internet allowed us a virtual home visit with a man we had never talked to. And got you some antibiotics.
And he just goes,
"Yep,
I'm going to prescribe you this. Go over there, pick it up. Have a good day. Bye."
All right. Amazon is in your internet. It's in your doorbell and likely looking at your neighbors' homes and shit. It's inside your home with cameras. It's controlling the security to your home. It is controlling the lighting in and out of your home. It's listening to your conversations with Alexa, and it has insight into your prescriptions and now your healthcare. How is this not just like screamingly alarming to anybody yet? Like, wouldn't you think like the amount of power that Amazon has, they'd maybe, they being the political figures, the powers that be, the FTC, would be like, why don't you cool it a little bit?
No. So we were driving. Like this is like weeks ago on the highway, and I saw a road sign on the highway of the mayor of the town saying, "Thanks for building your massive, like, home base right here in our town. Welcome." And
was that for Amazon?
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah, it was like people want Amazon to be in their backyards because those massive factories provide jobs. And isn't there like a huge tax write-off or like a benefit or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. It said, "Welcome Amazon," but I noticed there was no comma after welcome. So it wasn't the mayor saying, "Welcome Amazon." It was the mayor telling us to welcome Amazon.
Stop it.
I see through. Realize.
Shut the fuck up. I will say this is going to be a little bit of a tangent off notes, but there was a great, I want to say it was NPR article that talked about how Amazon opening up these warehouses in like rural parts of America is actually killing a lot of small businesses within the areas because people flock to these Amazon jobs because they have very high starting wages, for example, like better than what some of the mom and pop shops can offer. They offer great benefits, loose quotes. So that means people flock to these jobs, and nobody wants to work as a waitress in a diner. Nobody wants to work as a cashier at the, Ace Hardware in the small town, for, just examples. And because of that, it also makes it very hard for those small businesses to stay competitive with their own wages. So a mom and pop diner or a mom and pop hardware store can't provide, in rural America, probably can't provide $15 an hour starting wage. It's the cost of living just doesn't, I guess, maybe facilitate that in that area. And so it's really hard for these businesses to keep up. And the problem is these people flock to the jobs at Amazon, and they have such a high churn rate for employees because people quit, like a shitload of people quit after the first 6 to 12 months because it's just a grueling job for what a lot of them do. So that's my tangent about Amazon. I think, people maybe have I always fuck this up. Rose tinted glasses when it comes to this. So all that to say,
that's capitalism, baby.
So getting back on track for how is this allowed, how nobody is screaming from the rooftops about how this seems to be a pretty disturbing trend. Amazon has killed or undermined privacy protections in more than 36 bills across 25 states. And in 2021 alone, Amazon and its various subsidiary companies spent $20 billion to lobby Congress.
There it is.
Which, if you put $20 million in comparison to $4 billion for an acquisition, it's like nothing. That's $20 billion is like pocket change.
That's blowing your nose in a $20 bill.
Our Congress people are so cheap. They'll take anything. Yeah, no, actually lobbying is not funny and it should be illegal. So in Virginia, some of the examples of this, the company boosted political donations tenfold over 4 years before persuading lawmakers in 2021 to pass an industry-friendly privacy bill that Amazon itself drafted. Okay, that's fine. In California, the company stifled proposed restrictions on the industry's collection and sharing of consumer voice recordings gathered by tech devices. And in its own home state of Washington, Amazon won so many exemptions and amendments to a bill regulating biometric data, such as voice recordings or facial scans, that the resulting 2017 law had little, if any, impact on its practices, according to an internal Amazon document. Which is insane. Reuters actually has a huge investigation that they did. The link is in the show notes. It'll be the first or second link. It's enough content, honestly, to create an entire separate pod episode, and we're coming up on time today, so I'm not going to get too much further into it. But if you're interested in how Amazon works to kill public protection, definitely give this a look. It's an example of amazing investigative journalism. It actually has ties back to when former President Barack Obama was in office. There was an aide to Joe Biden as VP who now works for Amazon, who is a huge part in helping lobby and kill some of these bills. So that's today's episode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just want to inform everyone that we've just been bought out by Amazon.
Oh shit.
Next week we're talking about how much we love the easy services that they can bring to you with just a click of a button.
Did you know Amazon Prime is only $139 a year? And with that Prime membership, you receive access to Amazon Video, 2-day Prime shipping,
original series. The Boys, honestly, the writing in that show is fantastic.
Would you pay $140 a year just to watch The Boys?
I would pay $180 a year.
Don't give them any ideas.
I just love Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, this episode brought to you by Amazon's new series.
The Boys.
The Boys. Season 3 just finished, but season 4 just around the corner.
All right. Well, yeah. Don't give Amazon your money. Jeff Bezos.
I mean, honestly,
doesn't need it.
The $140 a year we spend, I spend that a day on all the useful products that they can bring to my house.
Their product recommendations are top notch.
Our porch
I
is just
bought it.
littered with boxes, just with smiley faces on it, just
I
rotten
bought
with
a
them.
toilet plunger 6 months ago, and I've been getting toilet plunger recommendations every day since. I have 15 toilet plungers in the house now.
It's a Bluetooth speaker. It plays "Ooh Ya Body Girl" when you're plunging. Every plunger has a different song.
Yeah. Well, we are just fucking kidding, obviously. I do not
kidding.
have 15 toilet plungers, nor are we sponsored by Amazon. And with that, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode. We'll catch you next time.
Good night.
Okay, bye.
Good night.